Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. Welcome to the Game Week 2 deadline stream of the FPL Wire. I'm your host, Zofa, and I'm joined by my co host, Late Riser. How are we feeling this Saturday, Ella?
Good man. This is a first, and I definitely think it's possible. I'm doing the stream from my office, and I thought, why not just take the camera and mic there so that I save time and transfer it and chat for an hour pre-deadline for you. I think it's very much manageable.
Yep.
How are you
Let's.
feeling, man? It's something you've done with the camera. It looks really nice. Is there a setting or something
No,
you
it's just in the
changed?
natural light, this works better because the lighting isn't sufficient in the room no matter how many artificial lights I put.
All right, man. Bad news, right? I mean, just for people that haven't caught up with the press conference news, the biggest update I reckon, three main pieces of update. It looks like Dominic Solanke is not going to be fit for game week 2. So, and just pretty much mentioned that in his press conference. So, if you own him, you either want to sell him or bench him. He is not even completely guaranteed to play in game week 3 as well. So, know that piece of information. Porro is fit and ready to play for game week 2. Hustler said that Minte is available for game week 2 as well. And Barco, if you own him, has gone to Sevilla. Sevilla even tweeted that sorry FPL managers, we took your player. I thought that was amazing. I love that. I love how FPL has gone big time even with the Spanish league now.
Yep. How are you doing with regards to your team? Settled, made any moves? Because you had Solanke in your team, right?
Yeah, settled. I mean, there was a little bit of a flirtation with Kai Havertz because he's been my gut tube, as I've told you, since a week or two. But thanks to the team selection videos actually that we've been doing, that last year I was quite lazy with, oh, I'll rely on my instinct and just make the move last minute and figure things out. I think I've been planning a bit more, so I want to plan and combine that with instinct, and which is why I made a move that went down in money instead of up, and we'll talk about who I went for later.
How close are you to the triple captain? One of us is doing it. We'll reveal who's likely might do it soon, but where are you on it?
Not considering it at all. That's where I am.
Another
A couple of people,
3.0.
a couple. What 3.0, man? This is not a double game week. Like this is Haaland.
I know to
Haaland
throw
is
some
going
bait
to
out there.
Haaland is going to be above 100% EO. This is exactly
No,
LR
well over
1.0
100. He's going to
move.
be, might even be over 200 EU.
Yeah, not 200. I think that's a
I,
little bit of a Twitter bubble for us, I reckon. I think he's going to be, let's say, 150% EO. That's not my triple captaincy move. That's LR 1.0. That's too mainstream. I do it as a nitro boost, like I mentioned. So, yeah, I'm not feeling about it. I feel like there's not enough information for me. You did the pros and cons very nicely. But the couple of main factors is we don't know how Ipswich are going to set up away. Yes, they conceded six big chances to Liverpool in that second half alone, and there is merit to it, but we don't know. And I feel like a lot of their players are still not quite into match rhythm. Haaland's in great rhythm. So for it, Pras mentioned to us that there might not be enough doubles for us to use it on a double game week. So that's where I'm. How about you?
not really tempted by it, strangely enough. It just feels a bit too early. There's a line in Troy, one of my favorite movies, that it's too early in the day to be killing princes. So it sort of
Yeah,
feels too early in the day to be using chips.
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, and I like it as like a emergency sort of nitro booster. If you're having a shit season or something of that sort, you can just try to progress further. That's all.
Yeah, it's not a bad move. And again, we've listed the pros and cons of it on our main pod and our team selection videos. Anyone who goes for it, I don't see any reason not to, primarily because of we don't know what the new chip that has been waiting for us, what it's going to do.
Also, I quite like that it's taken the pressure off Haaland captaincy today. I feel like
Yeah.
after
I'm
Salah
okay if
did
it's a
what,
blank or a goal or it's like a brace. Like, at this
yeah,
point, I don't know
I'm
exactly what
fine.
outcome I want.
I don't mind it because a lot of engaged managers are probably doing the triple captaincy this thing. So, like, I'm very chilled out about whatever Haaland does. But I think if he gets more than two goals, I might like get a little jealous of people that have
As
gone
a
there.
triple captain.
I,
Possibly,
yeah,
yeah. But again, it's something you can make up. I think anything around 15, 16, you feel you can make up in the
yeah,
future. All you need is like a brace from a Salah or something like that.
yep. For people that are in the chat, send in your questions and we'll look at answering them one by one and we'll talk you guys through our teams as
Yeah.
well.
To jump into that now, who are
Let's
team
jump in.
reveals?
We have a couple of questions. Let's
Yes.
okay, but let's do the reveals.
Yes.
So Pras didn't have any moves to make because he didn't have Solanke, so there was no stress there, but we received a message late night from Puss last night saying that he's going to pull a long night, not for reasons you might expect, but to but to figure what happened and what the mystery chip might be like, and whether he wants to use the triple captaincy decision. So we checked with him just before we got onto the stream as well, and he's like he's undecided, but there is a decent chance he does it, and he will message us. I have my WhatsApp open. If I hear from Pras, I will let you guys know whether he's going to be using the triple captaincy chip or not. What about you, Zoff? What move did you make?
Solanke to Muniz. I mentioned as much in my video. I just about caught that Solanke rumor before we put that video out, and it just seemed like the right move because everything now needs to build towards raising money for Salah. Freed up almost about I think 1.5 million by going this way. I was tempted by Armstrong, primarily not for the player, but just for that additional 500,000 saving. But just having looked at the fixtures now, I want rather the player to be determining my picks and future moves. Future moves, you
Yeah.
never know what might happen in the future. Next game week, Haaland could get injured and your transfer plans could completely change. So just rather went for the best pick, I thought, at the best price.
Yeah, same. I mean, I'll just take you through my thought process. I think we were chatting about it also. Like Muniz was there sitting with the fixtures, and both of us have liked Muniz until Solanke came into the picture. Muniz was our third striker. In fact, we compromised on other positions in our team to accommodate Solanke. Otherwise, our structure was going and saving that 1.5 million and spending it elsewhere in our team. But things happen. I think this is FPL. This is going to happen even more so this year with the bigger players and bigger teams playing more and more games. So, I mean, there's no need to feel tilted about that situation. I was considering Muniz. I was considering Armstrong, like you mentioned, the penalties and expected minutes, but I don't know if just you can how much information you can take from that first Southampton performance. Muniz felt like more of a sure bet. I was really tempted by Kai, but it meant downgrading Nkuku or Gordon to a 5.5 million midfielder. I really, really want Kai, but then this is an LR 1.0 problem where he's not, where I'm not like foreseeing in the future, and I will need funds for Salah. And I mentioned in the transfer video that my priority transfer is Salah, so everything I do is sort of maneuvering around that as well. And long story short, I've liked Muniz. I like Marco Silva. I picked it up in preseason, so there's no need to overthink it. So I went with Muniz
Yeah, I like the way
as well.
Fulham have been recruiting as well. Anyway, let's start getting to some questions. Our teams are up there. There are a few super chats and a few questions from our members. Start up with this one from Saksham. One second. It says Solanke
Yeah.
to Welbeck to fund Salah next week. I'm just going to bring this up. Yep. Solanke to Welbeck to fund Salah next week. I don't like Welbeck. What is Welbeck's price? I'm guessing 6.
6.5. Let me tell you.
I'm pretty sure it's not 6.5. I think it's 6.
5.5.
5.5,
Oh,
even better. I prefer Armstrong then.
that is tasty. That is tasty. But my question is they've got too many bodies, especially now, and Ciso is also fit, who tends to play in the center of the park. So that's fine now. There's Rutter, there's the other striker that they got whose name I don't remember. There's Pedro, there's Welbeck, there's Enciso, and there's Ferguson who's training on the grass as well. So in how I don't know how long your wildcard window is or wildcard view is, but minutes are a question there. That's all.
I'd go Armstrong
Yep.
at 5.5.
Yep.
Tarun's asking he
Just
needs. Go ahead.
just want to do a plug, man. We've got quite a few people watching us. So if you're watching us, we've done 6 pieces of content this week, which is incredible. We're changing things around in terms of how much content we're doing, and we're really trying to push forward. So we really appreciate your love and support, and feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. That's all. Let's get into it.
Tarun's asking he needs to make a transfer for Solanke. He missed the price rise of Muniz. Lots of people are in this situation. Should you still go for Muniz or go for Armstrong or Pedro?
I replied to a couple of DMs also. Moniz for me, still. Like, it's almost like just because I missed the point one boat, I shouldn't do it. No, go with the better pick. And I'm convinced Moniz is the better pick than Armstrong.
Another thing worth mentioning, and I agree with you completely, go for Muniz. And a lot of times you're worried about that point one locking you out of another point five, but it's worth mentioning that most of us still want to get Salah in. And Salah is close to a price rise as well. So you're going to need that point five block anyway. So don't be worried
Exactly.
about like losing out on that point one.
Vaishnav has asked a very interesting question. He's upgrading Solanke to Havertz. He's doing what I would have done. Who's your best 5.5 million midfielder?
I'd like to say Minte, but the fixtures are tough. Given the fixtures right now, probably ESR.
The fixtures are tough only for like I think United at home is not a tough fixture,
I
and then
think
Arsenal
yeah.
away.
Let's just say Minty.
Yeah, and then he's got City away and Spurs away. So it's Minte or ESR. I think the first two fixtures for if it's a 2 week move, then ESR. If it's a 5 week move, then Minte. But it's close. If you went ESR also, I don't mind it. Like Fulham are good. I have no doubt. So ESR is going to be a good pick.
Fair enough. From Henriette, would you guys bench Saliba or Robinson? I'd bench Saliba.
Yeah, I'd bench Saliba too.
Upside is
It
there
is
with
what it
Robs.
is.
Would your answer be the same if it was Gabriel?
Uh,
Mine would be different. I just have this thing, whether it's right or wrong, that Gabriel has more goal threat.
I don't know, man. I'm sitting on the fence. Like this is a question where it's a 50-50 and you don't know till you know when you really just click the buttons. Like what feels or right or wrong. I think I'd still go Robinson. I'd chance it.
I think that was Vaishnav's question, right? We just answered on
We've got a
YouTube.
question from Tarun. Play 2 of Muniz, ESR and Kuku.
Play 2 of Muniz, ESR and
Yes.
Nkunku.
I'd play the homeboys.
Would you go with the split the risk option though?
So I'd definitely play Muniz.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And then between ESR and Nkunku, I'm still slightly preferring ESR.
I think I'd go Nkunku. Just in case
my
Fulham have a
worry-
disaster class.
What's your thoughts? Because Maresca mentioned that Neto is not going to be playing left. Who's going to be playing left? My problem is that
Mudryk, you could play over there.
But Mudryk was rubbish in the European game too, right? I was reading reports and there was really poor reports
I've
about him.
lost
So
track of how many players we have, so it might be. I don't think we're short of players to play.
But nobody on the left. Genuinely nobody on the left because Raheem looks like he's going to leave the club. He would be the shout otherwise. There's nobody who's like first choice-ish. That's going to. Can Madueke or Palmer play on the left?
No, Madueke generally plays on the right. Palmer hasn't played on the left, so we don't know. I think he will try, but Palmer is a doubt even, I think, with that hamstring problem. So not even sure Palmer will play.
I think he'll play. I mean,
we would have very likely
heard
to
about.
play. I shouldn't scaremonger,
Yeah.
but I think he should play.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my
All right,
answer would be
man.
Muniz and Nkunku.
I'd say Muniz and ESR because I'm a little worried about him playing white. That's all. All right. What else do we have as
Barco
questions?
plans ahead if price is dropping in the coming week. Ideally, you want to
Cold.
upgrade into somebody better, but I don't think he's going to drop anytime soon for the next 4 or 5 weeks at least.
He's
4.0. Who's your guys we cover? I think Greaves. After this week, Greaves fixtures are good.
Yeah, Greaves. Greaves is the one you go for if you want to sell. But my plan is to hold. I don't want to spend a transfer there. I'm very sure I'm wildcarding between Game Week 3 and 6, 7. So it's an early wildcard for me. If that is the case, then I don't want to spend a transfer there. I want to spend transfers on the pitch.
Samuel's asking what so far pushed you towards Pedro or Muniz. That's Prus's team over there with Pedro. LR and I have both gone for Muniz as our Solanke replacements. Prus didn't own Solanke.
And Prus went Pedro because he wanted to fund this squad and he had a Salah plus Haaland squad plus Trent squad. So that's not easy to do, which is why there was a bit of... And Prus likes his penalty takers, man.
Ashwant is asking move Dom and Gordon out for Havertz and Mitoma. Don't mind it, but it's a hit obviously. It's game week 2. Nobody has 2 transfers, so
I don't mind it, but like those moves are a good 4 or 5 week window sort of move. I don't mind it. The players he getting in are good.
Correct. I don't know.
I still want to give Gordon time though.
I want to watch Gordon. Good thing is the game tomorrow is televised. So I think after watching at least 70-80 minutes, I'll be in a better position to make a decision.
Today's 7:30 slate is also. I don't think you're going to watch tomorrow though. It's in concurrence with the Chelsea game. Question: Can you ever watch 2 games together? Yeah, it's both.
I do. I have multiple screens. I can set up one on my PC, one on the projector. So I do sometimes watch 2 games together.
But like when you're watching those 2 games, how's your attention differentiate?
It's primarily on one game, and the other games I'm just watching if there are goals.
If there are goals, exactly similar. It's difficult to tactically understand what's happening in a game. That's the case. Yeah. All right, more questions.
From Krishnu Das, Solanke to Haaland, Saka to Winks. Already have Salah. Then he's judging basically rest of his team. Saka to Winks already have Salah.
I like
trying
it.
to get Haaland. I think he's the guy who mentioned that last week with the -4. Remember to switch the captaincy.
I like it. He is because you're probably exposing yourself to 200% Haaland risk this week. And there's a chance that's 35, 40 points. I make the move. What do you think?
You know me, I like risk management, but hearing all this from you is all just new to me.
But I do think it's not even just Haaland risk management. I feel like Haaland at home against the three promoted sides is probably top three captaincy fixture for anybody in the league against anybody in the league.
Hmm.
Like it's that big a move, which is why I like the protection. It's not like it's not like Salah versus Brentford and I don't have Salah. Like I think that's a different conversation to Haaland at home to switch. I feel that way about
Yeah,
it.
I'd agree. I agree with your point.
Solanke to Mateta. He has got ESR and Robinson. I don't mind Mateta's up. And the only thing is 60 minutes, 70th minute sub is on the cards.
From FPL Rohit, tempted by Gordon to Eze this game week to bank 0.5 for Isak to Watkins next game week. So I got this question on the scout as well. I don't mind the transfer, Gordon to Eze necessarily, but I'd like to give it this one more week because I don't think either of the guys you're trying to buy are going to rise in price. So I think just wait, give this one more week, watch the games, and then make your decision.
But do you want to address this? I don't mind the move either. But do you want to sell Isak next week
I don't
for
know. It
Watkins?
all
I don't.
depends. I think maybe whichever trajectory he wants to go on. Like we said earlier, no player is indispensable. If there's the easiest route to Watkins is there instead of Haaland. But that's my point. I want more information. I don't feel confident about going through that move even next week.
Irrespective, like Newcastle beat Spurs 4-0 last year at home. And like Ford likes to play on transition and playing against Spurs enables that. So I think it's a prime fixture for Isak. Whatever happens, I don't want to sell Isak next week.
I'd agree.
I feel strongly
I'd
about
agree.
it.
I feel strong
Yeah.
about Isak as a long-term pick.
Yeah.
Nitash is asking Solanke to Mateta. Mateta, as per the last comments by the managers, he isn't fully match fit, so you don't be confident on minutes over the next 2 game weeks. I don't like it.
And also, just one thing, he really liked playing with Olise. Like they had a good sort of understanding where they were sort of flicking the ball and back flicking to each other, etc. It's a little different with just Eze there, who's hogging the ball more. It's not as fluid in terms of interplay between the three of them.
Somebody here with a lovely name, Utkarsh Khanna. Garnacho or Doku over game week 2 and game week 3? Basically, Garnacho or Doku over the next 2 weeks?
Doku has a prime fixture and he could get a 20-pointer. Just for game week 2 and 3, Doku, but Doku isn't a long-term pick. If you're asking me game week 2, 3, 4, also my answer is going to change to Garnacho because Garnacho is an FPL option. Doku isn't quite there yet, in my opinion.
I'd agree. Path is asking start 2 of ESR, Murphy, and Chris Wood. ESR definitely. Murphy and Wood, I think probably Wood. Penalty taker.
I'd start Murphy.
So ESR common for both of us. Murphy Wood is 50-50.
Southampton away, yeah. Yeah, Wood, you're right. More talismanic. Wood.
More talismanic, exactly.
Yeah. We take a more question. I'll ask Pras if there's an update on his triple captaincy situation. The people are waiting, Pras. And I can hear you anyway, so the questions will register in my head.
Yes. My chat seems to have hung. I'm just going to check it back. Are there no more chats or my chats are not refreshing anymore? Let me just see.
No, I've got them. Karan's made a great point. He's like, I can't believe the devil on my shoulder is Pras and the voice of reason is LR.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. This is all quite weird to me as well.
Hey man, like come on, you've known me for now.
I'm just busting balls.
Yeah, man. Like I'm fairly planned and I take my risks, but
I know
not
that
all the time.
everyone just thinks you're like this YOLO queen.
Yeah, man. Bloody hell. It grades me the wrong way sometimes. I'm not always like a risky manager. Start ESR or Muniz, start Muniz over ESR all day, every day for me.
Yep.
Because I think Muniz has slightly 10-15 minutes more as well. Samrat has asked team. Okay, we got a question from Subhojit Bhattacharya. Nkunku or Murphy? Who to start? I think he just asked this.
Nkunku. No, that's different.
Nkunku for me too. Son or Salah, who to captain this week? I strongly feel you should captain Salah. I don't know how good Son is going to be, genuinely.
Leo's
Even though...
Yep, go ahead.
even though Tarkowski and Young are injured, and we're going to have Michael Keane and Holgate on the pitch, I'd still captain Salah
Leo's asking, have you ever had a successful triple captain in a double game week? I think both of us have.
multiple times. Like I've had two great 50 plus pointers and I've had two 1 pointers with injury in the first 15 minutes. And both the injuries in the first 15 minutes have been Liverpool players, Mane and Darwin. Not 15 minutes, first half rather.
Yash is asking, is Solanke out worth a hit if we can field an 11, including Robinson? Yes, I'd agree. You can field Robinson and sell Solanke next week.
Okay, cool. Pras is like, he's not sure. He'll let us know just before the stream ends.
Pras is keeping it late. I like how the sexy Pras is always trying to be reined in. He's always trying to rein in
Yeah.
the sexy side.
He's not sure. He's doing some sort of research there, so let him be. All right. Krishna Das saying he's the same guy from the previous spot. So it's 2:15, but he still appreciate that watching us late in the night. Cheers, man. Cheers for the super chat, Krishano.
Mehul is asking, are we wildcarding game week 6? As it stands, likely, but not definitely.
Yeah, and I'm open to a wildcard between game week 3 and 6 or 7. It's an early wildcard for me. I'm pretty sure about
I've
that.
noticed I kind of like 7 a bit more when I looked, except for Arsenal. Because I think Liverpool still have a decent game. I think Man City and Newcastle away in 6.
That's the Arsenal, right? You want to take advantage of
That's the
those
thing.
Arsenal
The turn is
fixtures.
the Arsenal thing, but Man City and Newcastle away, but the fixtures are good after that. So you probably will get Haaland for Newcastle away then.
Exactly. And you don't mind Newcastle away for attackers. Man.
Attackers, yeah.
Genuine. So yeah. That was my takeaway. What's happening with Trippier? Is he going to be playing?
No, Trippier probably won't play. I think they've said that he wants to move, but I think Newcastle are still trying to keep him. But I think it's all money games. I think he'll move by the end of the window.
One of my biggest things is how much Newcastle missed Trippier, man, in game week 1.
Yes, he's a big miss. But Livramento is good, but very different kind of player. He's not as cross happy.
Yeah. Like when they play with Trippier is their outlet. Like, I wonder if it sort of affects Gordon a little as well, because Gordon is back posting on the left side. And every time it was Guimaraes and Trippier sort of interplaying within themselves and getting the ball to Trippier for the cross in, which doesn't quite happen with Livra. Ram Venkatesh saying Arsenal might get a winger, probably rotation for Saka. I don't see it, man. Saka's going to get played week in, week out. I don't see much rotation for him.
Yeah, early substitutions maybe, or maybe the odd rotation when there's like an easy game, home game versus a Real Madrid away, etc.
All right, Zoff, why don't you do a like and subscribe plug while we wait for more
How
questions?
many
Because
guys
people listen to you.
How many people have we got in the chat? 723 today, and let me have a look. Only 130 likes, guys. So do hit that like button. We're putting these streams out for you guys. Help us out with that, and do hit the subscribe button. The chat is open to subscribers. It's completely free.
Are you two very not owning? Oh, we're shitting the bed. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
both. We're absolutely both shitting the bed. It was like even when we had Solanke, I was watching the first game. It was more uncomfortable viewing, even though we had the striker, because Porro was just nuts.
Powerful
game,
beast.
Yeah, man. It's a big day for a boy today, Munoz. All right.
Not many dilemmas as such today. I think a lot of people are saving transfers. It's not nowhere near as mad as game week 1.
Also, game week 1's game week 1, right? Like
Yeah.
you're making 15 decisions. Out here, people are making one decision, if at all. So there's not going to be that many dilemmas. Play Holler and Cuckoo.
And Kunku. No share.
Yeah, man. Oh, somebody's asked Kulusevski or Garnacho. What's your question there? What's your answer there?
Kulu, I don't think he'll be nailed on in the long term. Garnacho, I think, is at least a first choice player. So easy Garnacho for me. Kulu, the upside is this week because he might be playing centre forward. Richarlison, he said might start, but I don't think he will.
Yeah, long term Garna this week, Kulu. I'm by with.
This is my friend Sivanti. He's asking about Son captaincy. With Solanke injured, his Son might not play as wide. I don't mind it.
I'm not confident about Son. I just need to see more from him. That's all. It's a high risk captaincy. Does Shivanti not have Haaland?
No, I don't think he does. I think he's got stacked up his midfield.
Is your vice, by the way, Saka? I wanted to chat that out with you because my vice is Isak.
My vice is Saka. I just like having like a penalty taker. I guess Isak also it applies, but I guess a top four players. My vice was between Jota and Saka. I just left it on Saka just in case random shit happens with Liverpool.
It was those three: Jota, Isak, and Saka. I went Isak just because the easiest fixture of the three, I thought. Let's discuss the. You know what? I think a lot of people are thinking about the triple captaincy, including people on our Discord, etc. So let's just chat it out a little more. Like, what are the reasons to do it, and what is your reason to not do it? Like, what are the main reasons that you're not feeling it yet?
I don't know. I'm
Lack of
just not convinced
information.
City are firing on all cylinders yet. I'm not convinced it's going to be a blowout. I'm seeing a 2-0 or a 3-0.
All right, fair enough. And you think it's not about just Haaland's fitness, right? You think everybody else needs to be fit for it to
Right.
work out as well.
You could make the counter
Right.
argument that if Foden, etc., are not playing, then it's more likely to be Haaland with the goals. There are few
Yeah.
people to distribute the goals around.
And in general, this is the likeliest Haaland is nailed for 95 minutes, I reckon. That's also a thing
Yep.
in
Play
my
one
head.
of Calvert-Lewin, Hall, Howard Bellis. I would actually say Calvert-Lewin. Spurs defense isn't great. You have a penalty taker in
Yeah,
Calvert-Lewin.
I played DCL too. I would also play DCL. Okay, Karan's told us why don't we do a sneaky plug for the Discord as well? Yeah, guys, if you want to join and hang with us, and we do like a Q&A session for our Discorders every Thursday as well. We are on our Discord a lot more this season as well, and there's a great community there where we talk not just about football but literally everything else as well. So yeah, join our if you want to get away from Twitter, which I don't think is as good a place for conversation anymore, and enjoy a little sacred community. Why don't you come on over and become a member on patreon.com/the FPL Wire or a YouTube member?
Some Nico Jackson questions. Always interesting.
Yeah, a few people are actually discussing that he might be an option to buy if as a Solanke replacement. What's his price this year?
7, I think.
7.5.
Yeah, just
Just
pretty
the
much Solanke price.
same price, yeah. No man. Uh, are Arsenal players like Havertz fixture proof? What's your thought here?
The problem with this season, you can't say anyone's fixture proof. You simply just don't expect them to score the same number of goals. They will likely win, but ultimately we have to shuffle around. At least you could argue Havertz the price. You could say he's a bit of a glue guy. You could say he's fixture proof, but at least with the premiums, you have to chase the ceiling. It's not like, let's say, Palace away is a bad fixture for Salah. You just don't expect Liverpool to score 4 or 5 when these guys have like Man City have a Southampton at home, etc.
I agree with you. I'll if I can, I'll send off the image. Is your WhatsApp open on the PC?
No, I close it because it makes up the noise every time the beep
All right,
noise.
let it be then. Let it be. But we've seen difference in performance for all these big hitters against different caliber of opposition also, and it's quite drastic. It's quite drastic even home and away as well. So fixtures matter, but they are fixture proof. I'd say the attackers. I don't think the defense is fixture proof.
Part
Okay,
sent
we got a
some
question.
rhymes. It's just some rhymes, not a question. He's gone triple Captain Haaland. Sent us a small rhyme.
He's feeling the feelings about the Haaland triple
Yep.
captaincy, man. I'm not worried about it because I think there's still a huge. What's Haaland's ownership right now? Let
54,
me see what is.
54%, 55 last I checked. But even last
Hey,
game week, it
the,
was close to 87, 88, I think, against Chelsea.
so I think his EU is going to be 130, 140%. So
No,
you're
I think
definitely
much
going to
higher
gain
because I think it'll be closer to 170, 160, 170.
because everybody who owns it is going to captain him. So
And then you
that's
have the triple
110.
captains.
And as FPL mentioned that 400,000 of the owners had a triple captaincy. You're right, man. You're looking at upwards of 150% EU for Haaland. It's interesting. All right. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to try it. Enyal Sortland. Start Robinson or Munoz, or start both over Nkuku. A lot of people have this dilemma.
Start Robinson or Munoz. I'd actually say Munoz and Kunku. Robinson. order Munoz first and Kunku second, Robinson third.
Yeah, I agree with that. Munoz for sure first. I'd be tempted to play Robinson over Nkunku. Like Robinson has genuine attacking threat this game as well.
It's all about how much we rate Leicester's attack also, right? Do you think Leicester
Yeah.
score?
They had a 20-minute hot period in the first game. That's it. And plus it's Jamie
Big difference
Vardy.
playing at home also, right? Under lights on Monday, first promoted game
Yeah.
back. Waza is asking Solanke to Muniz or Kai and downgrade Amar to someone cheaper. How much cheaper can you go? You have to go 4.5, right? I
And
think
there's
it
nobody cheaper.
just go Solanke to Muniz. He's trying to find money for Kai.
Yeah, man. Just go Solanke to Muniz. Somebody asked us an interesting question. Are we considering on making merch? Yes, we are. We're in talks with people and we are getting merch in place. So we've got a few ideas. If you have any ideas, I see that you're a member. Feel free to post them on the Discord in terms of merch. We're looking at some large size t-shirts. We're looking at sipper bottles and stuff like that, man. So feel free to hit us with ideas. Everybody on the Discord, feel free to hit us with ideas with regards to merch. Something that's easily shippable, please, guys.
You can't do anything electronic because then you have import duty and all that stuff as well.
Exactly. All right. So Lanki to Muniz, we've already done this. Start Gabriel or Nkuku for me.
Yes.
That's
Sneaky
the
chance. I
question
think
from
Nkunku
Lene.
will be the penalty taker for a few minutes at least. I don't think Palmer is going to play 90 in if he does start.
It's a good shot. Nkuku needs to come through. Did his ownership drop after the first week?
Little bit.
It's quite a differential now. 15% owned only.
From 17 to 15. It wasn't that high to
Yeah.
begin with. It was more of an engaged player pick.
And Muniz is also still under 10% ownership. Our biggest differential right now is our boy Munoz though, 4.5%.
Sleeper picks,
All right.
anything in Buddy in particular we're looking at?
I have no draws as picks.
That's
So that
interesting.
United pick that I made during the pod, I changed it up.
Do United win?
Yep. Just wanting to back my boys. That's it. And I feel I had a poor start to Gameweek 1 as well, so I don't want to sit on the fence with any of my picks. So went for a win.
Makes sense.
There.
Ram is
Start
asking
Nkuku or Wood. That's an
Nkunku
interesting
or
one.
Wood? That's a tougher one. Nkunku, I think. But I'm a bit biased.
Somebody's asked about Felix. I'll ask your opinion. What do you think about Felix this year? How often is he going to start? Eventually, is he going to be first choice? What's going to happen to
I think he's
Jackson
too
and
good a player
Nkuku?
not to be left out of the first 11, especially for a manager like Maresca who likes all these technical players who can play across the front four. I think he's easily part
So,
of a first choice 11, and if we don't sign another centre forward, he could be the first choice number 9 as well.
so you think your first choice front four looks like Palmer, Neto,
Felix up
Nkuku,
top,
and
Neto, Palmer, and Kuku behind. Yep, exactly.
yeah, that looks like your first choice front four. I feel for Maduaki though. He was good again in Europe. How do you rate him? Do you rate him as a player?
Who?
Madueke?
Kind of do, but I think you can only give potential so much time. You can have only so much
But
patience with it. Just seems everyone will keep saying he's raw, just a final decision making needs to click, etc., etc. But I don't know. I'm not convinced. I think the
he's
talent is there, but I don't think he'll ever be like a top 4 club level.
he's already coming through on his potential, I almost feel like. I don't remember a poor performance from him, Madueke.
Wait, okay, I got confused with Mudrik. Sorry.
Not Madueke.
Madueke. Madueke is still good. Madueke has potential.
Yeah. All right. More questions.
From
Gordon to
Parag,
Bruno
yeah.
upgrade worth it? He can
Is
do
it
this
an
with the
upgrade?
DOM money.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it this week, right? It's Brighton away. It's not necessarily and Liverpool next week. So do it in game week 4 if you want to. Not right now. Two tough fixtures for United.
ESR Minte this week.
We already discussed this, right? It's tough, man. We're sort of on the fence. If it's just for 2 weeks, then we said ESR. If it's for 4 weeks, it's tough. Just about Minte for Zoff and just about ESR for me. That was our answer.
I do think the ESR hype is potentially a bit preemptive, but fair shot.
Nah, I saw the game. I like what I saw. I'm not too worried. And the similar hype for Brighton, but Brighton are probably a better team. Do you think
Just,
it's nailed on that Minte starts this week?
I think so. He was one of the better players last week available to play. I think he'll give the other wingers and all sub on appearances. Mintes had a full preseason under him.
Hmm.
Saurabhi Bhattacharya, long time listener. Solanke to Muniz for -4 or play Konsa wings. Ah, I'd get Muniz in. Just because the next 4-5 game weeks you get are good.
Nobody has many dilemmas. I feel like if you're done, then we'll end it. If you guys have your questions, get them in the word for you to. I can't believe you pulled the water bottle thing up. Yeah, it's a very popular water bottle. Amazon, man. I think it is some 400, 500 rupees. What game are you looking for? What game are you going to watch in the 3 p.m. slot today?
Chelsea. Is
Let's
Chelsea tomorrow?
just.
Oh yeah, Chelsea is tomorrow then. Probably Haaland.
Today's a bunch of good games. There's the Haaland game. There's Palace versus West Ham. So our boy Munoz is playing. There's Fulham versus
Whatever's
Leicester.
on
So
4K over here on TV, so I have to check that. Select HD. Yeah, that's Man City Ipswich.
we've got a ton of players playing, man. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 players. That's not a ton. But a lot of FPL relevant players. Poro is in action. The Forest boys are in action. City boys are in action. Fulham boys and Palace boys are in action.
I don't understand the question here from Sam. Just Gabriel, Munoz, Robertson, Howard, Bellis, or drop one for Rogers. I'd play Rogers over Howard, Bellis, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Play Rogers, man. Who does Howard Bellis has Forest? That's why he's asking the Howard Bellis question. Southampton are at home against Forest. What do you think about that then?
Nah, I'd still play Rogers.
The attacker?
Yep.
And because you think the couple of decent chances that Wolves conceded to Arsenal are on your mind for that answer?
Potentially.
And it's still Aston Villa. Good team. Which City mid do you think the scores the highest this week?
KDB.
Same answer. I'm convinced it's KDB. I don't mind KDB. This is a good question from Steve. If you knew that Haaland scores 2 and has 1 assist, if you get that information right now, would you still triple captain him right now?
So that's 16 points.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? I'd take 16 points. If you offered me 16 points for triple captain any season, I'd take it. Anything above 15 feels like a lot.
Yeah. I still wouldn't. So your loss effectively is 6 points because you're captaining him, right? So that's the thought process in my head.
Why is your loss only 6 points? I know it's your 2 goals
Because
and an assist. Your loss is 16 points.
and in my head, if you get a triple captain, that gets 10 points.
Yeah,
one
you
return.
might get a triple captain that gets 1 point also,
Yeah,
as has happened in the past.
And you're right. And what happens is this week, it's likely going to be a single game week. If it's just a single game week, then yeah, I reckon I'll take 16 points. Revisiting that answer, yes, I'll take 16 points. Because it's likely not going to be a double game week this year. Paras, thanks for the super chat there. This Nitin has asked this question multiple times. Play Burn or Pedro? A lot of people had this question.
Pedro, easy.
Yeah, same. Play Pedro. Penalty taking attacker.
With shared out, Newcastle defense goes down several notches. It's like Van Dijk missing for Liverpool.
It's going to be what? Kraft and Burn?
Yeah.
What do you make of the captaincy for Guehi? He's the captain today for Crystal Palace. Do you think that indicates that he's not going to leave for Newcastle now? Or I don't think that's a sure thing.
I think so. I think it is a sort of like move to get him back on side with the fans, etc., etc. I don't think he's leaving now because I don't think they can afford to sell both centre backs in the same window.
Fair shout. All right, Roshan Patra has asked a question. He owns neither Salah nor Haaland. I'd be saying your prayers, Roshan. Have Saka and Havertz with Havertz cap last game week. Is Haaland still a necessity? Building towards Salah and game week 4.
So I'm guessing if there's Son, who else do we have Roshan as a captain option?
he's not asking about captaincy. He's asking, is Haaland a necessity because he's building
Yeah,
towards Salah
I
in
mean,
game
if you
week
can
4.
cover his captaincy points, that's what I'm trying to see. If you have somebody, let's say a son who you want to captain, you think he can get similar points as Haaland, I can get behind that. But if you go on a full, like, no premium approach, then I'll be curious to know. If you don't have a reliable captaincy, then I do think Haaland is worth it.
I'd get Haaland, man. I can't tell you how I feel about that. I'd get Haaland. It's too early in the season to not have Haaland game week 2. That's been my entire hypothesis since we started preseason content.
Has LR been working out?
Been playing some pickleball, working out a little. Not as much as you. Zoff is a beast. In terms of like he's much more pro. I'm like a noob. Let's just say that. How's the workout going these days, Zoff?
Pretty good. All
Pretty good, consistent.
yes.
How many days a week are you clocking gym time still?
5 days. 5 days a week. 5 days a week.
5 days.
Cardio in the
Well,
morning, lifting in the evening.
double sessions, 5 days. That's what Zoff does.
You can't ideally
Is
lift and do
Maran
cardio in the same session.
becomes too much. You should get onto some sort of sport though. I can't tell you how much fun it is.
I'm trying to get into
Gen-
badminton a little bit.
It's a good idea. One of those quad sports. What I've realized, one of the things, as long as it's easily doable, then it's sustainable.
Right.
Otherwise, it's not.
You know, I also can't do this basketball and stuff at this age now. There's too much risk of injury with basketball, football, stuff
You used
like
to play
that.
basketball back in the day.
Little bit.
Nice, that's nice. Yeah, can't. That's why I like pickle. It's easier on the body. I played squash. I used to play squash 5 years ago. Then I started playing again this year. 3 sessions and I already struggle with back issues. Third session, the back spasm, man. So can't be doing that.
Yeah.
All right. Anurag already has Muniz. Should do Solanke to Pedro. If so, who to start between Pedro, ESR, and Nkuku? I don't mind starting ESR and Nkuku and holding Solanke this week. There's no other striker I
Yes.
like really this
Probably
week.
just hold.
Yeah. All right. Wow, Rahul Patel, we have an international level badminton player. Play Munoz or Robinson's off?
Munoz.
Munoz.
I think you have more goal threat with Robinson. You don't have as much goal threat. It's more assisting. But especially at home, Munoz is full beast.
What are the clean sheet odds? Slightly more for Fulham, maybe?
Slightly, yes. Because West Ham are a decent attack, right? Plus, again, the Anderson transfer is going to have an effect on Palace defense. I think that will also drop a couple percentage there.
They've replaced really well, though. The guy that was bought in preseason, he's already very highly rated.
I can imagine anyone covering him from a defensive perspective, but what he offers on the ball, Anderson is really good.
Somebody asked, are you going for Son over Salah cap? Somebody's going for. I prefer Salah, man. Joseph is asking if you're using TC. Zoff and I are definitely not using TC. Pras might. We don't have information yet.
Lifehouse
We don't know
Zlatan is
whether
asking Saliba or Robinson. He's a YouTube member. Robinson for both of us.
Robinson. Have you checked your team? I think it's a good time to
Yes,
just make
I-
sure everybody check your
Let me-
teams one last time, your subs, etc. I'm good. What do you reckon? Isak or Jota Vice?
Jota. I mean, no, wait. Vice captain, you want a nailed on starter than Isak.
Yeah, nailed on starter and pens. That's the thinking. Pras is still not sure on
I like that he's
triple
still not sure.
captains.
That means he's genuinely considering, otherwise by now Pras would have been pens down. Pras is really wrestling
Yeah,
with
man.
it.
Yeah, I reckon if he's not sure at this time, he probably is not going to do it. That's my inkling. So I think he's just one of those pages where he's sitting like this and like he's sitting on the cursor, do it, not do it, do it, not do it, playing things on the Z.
For Pras, the chess moves are more important than the pieces also, right? He's trying to figure out when is the next best available opportunity for it.
Yeah. Yash is giving us a nice stat. People who play racket games like baddie and tennis live on average 10 years longer as compared to football, which only increases life expectancy by 4 years. And swimming increases life expectancy by 2 years. Nice, I feel good. Syed is asking with a couple of emergency bulbs, start Hall or Rogers.
Rogers.
Yeah, I'd say Rogers too. Robinson or Pedro?
Joao Pedro. I think penalty taker and the better fixture.
Man, these such yeah, you had to sneak
Obviously.
that one in, man. I remember also, I think it was the last video, the pod, we got a comment also where somebody said that Zoff really
Loki.
doesn't like
Loki.
my
Very Loki. I've kept it quiet.
I'm like, man, have you just started watching us?
No, he's actually, I remember the comment you were talking about. So he's actually a Game Week 1 pod watcher from 3 years ago.
Lovely. Mule saying it's only Game Week 2, but given how highly Munoz is regarded. Yeah, by the way, you thought it was all three of us. Pras doesn't have Munoz.
Yes, yes, he corrected me. I saw
It's
the
just
GIF
the
later.
both of us.
He
Yeah,
did in one iteration. I think he sent us just before this one.
yeah, man.
Got
Sleeper
many
predictions.
questions. Just another 15 minutes, so
Oh,
might as well kill some time.
yeah. What do you think happens in the Villa Arsenal game? How do you see that going? That's
Ars-
because I think that's an important sleeper
Arsenal 2-1
prediction
win,
game.
I think.
Same, I'm expecting Arsenal to win. And I'm hoping it's a 2-1 win. I am cheering on for an Aston Villa goal. I can't be dealing with Arsenal 2 out of 2 clean sheets.
So many are benching though this week. Very large percentage are
Yeah?
benching their Arsenal defender this week.
Okay. Are all the people that have the same team benching their Arsenal defender together? Shout out to Trigger Lips. Simon Clark has asked a question. Haaland to Mo Game Week 4 or 5 and Haaland to Kaya Watkins or someone else. Panther to Gordon up to Mo now that Solanke sale has freed up cash.
Gordon to Moore requires a lot of money. That's 5 million you got to find. So he's talking about Haaland to go Game Week 4 or 5. I think probably Game Week 5. Game Week 4, Haaland has Brentford at home. Salah has Forest at home. So unless you have other priorities,
Yeah.
you can afford to do that. Haaland to Kai or Watkins, I think it's a question we need a bit more time to decide. As of now, I'd prefer Kai. But the fixtures, I
Yeah.
think when you're doing it, the fixtures aren't great. I think 5 and 6
Well,
is
Game
when
Week 3 is
Arsenal.
Game Week 3 is a good entry point for Kai, and Game Week 6 is a good entry point for Kai. Those are the two
Right.
good entry
Right.
points for Kai. Roshan has a lot more questions coming in again just as the deadline approaches. Taz cap, no Salah, no Haaland team. I'm not a big
That's
fan.
interesting.
What do you think?
I'd go for a Newcastle guy then. I'd go for Isak.
Yeah. And I
Assuming you have
just
no
prefer
Spurs
an
also.
attacker.
Yeah, exactly. You could just sneak in a silly goal.
Yeah. Apparently, Bawa said that there's team news that Garnacho, Bruno, and Dalot start. Yes, I was expecting Garnacho start today. Jayanagar has asked a question. Plan is to keep Solanke and just play Murphy this game week. Original play was to wildcard 4 with no transfer, but now I'll be bring forward wildcard to game week 3. Thoughts? I don't mind a game week 3 wildcard. We've spoken about it. I think it's a good entry point for Arsenal. You can get Salah and Trent and another Liverpool player in. You can get a City defender in along with Haaland. I don't mind it. What do you think?
I mean, why he's abandoned the plan just because of the Solanke injury? I don't
His
like
original play was wildcard 4.
Now he's bringing
That's
it
it.
1 week
He's
before, right?
1 week before. I don't mind it.
What
And
are
even
the
then you
differences in
mentioned,
the
right?
team? I guess the main thing you're sacrificing the West Ham fixture for Haaland and you're getting the Manchester United fixture for Salah.
Yeah. I don't think you sacrifice Haaland though. I still think I go Haaland on wildcard.
Haaland and Salah.
Haaland and Salah. For sure. Especially now we know that Eze and
with
Boom
Trent, I guess you have to go to a similar structure like how Pras has over here.
process. Yeah. I'd get both though. Pretty certain I'd get both.
And that's what you're building towards as well, right? For game week 4 and 5.
Yep. Bench 1. Muniz, Nkuku, ESR, Murphy.
It's close
Rahul
between
has asked
Murphy and
us.
ESR. I'd probably bench Murphy. Bournemouth are a much better team than Leicester.
Yeah, I'd bench Murphy. Muniz and ESR homeboys that play them. It's between Nkuku and Murphy. I'd bench Murphy. So many people asking if Pras is triple captaining. We don't know. And I think in such a situation also, I just want to like let him be and make his decision in peace.
He should let us know. I think if he's not done it by now, he probably isn't doing it.
Yeah. I don't want to bother him at the moment, so let him be.
And also, don't you think if it's a decision you're 50-50 over, wouldn't you always side with no? That's just me. With something like you can only use once in a season, unless I'm very certain of it, I wouldn't really go ahead.
I'll just drop in a text. Any decision made? Question mark. Let's see. The Rob T just dropped some odds on goal projections. He has now a higher goals total projected than any single game week last season. I think this is going to tip a few in the analytics world right now.
Understandable.
He's projected to score 1.37 goals.
Bookies know what they're doing.
Yeah. Pras doesn't look like he's going to do it at the moment. I feel like if that changes, we'll see. All right.
Priyesh is an interesting one. In a scenario like Pras, I keep confirming TC and removing it till the deadline takes it out of my hands. It's basically. I've done this a few times with two defenders. I've been unsure about. Just keep swapping safe, keep swapping safe. You never know which way it ends out.
Wow.
This
No,
is a
I
long
can't do
ago.
that, man.
Yeah.
Gordon seems to be getting off at 60 minutes. No, man. You don't draw conclusions based on the one game that you saw against where they got a red card, man. And he didn't even play 60. He played 70 minutes in the first game. So, yeah. Zoff, did you consider Mateta?
The problem is it locks me out of Eze because I already got Henderson and Munoz. If I got Mateta in, then I couldn't potentially get Eze in, who I think might be a better FPL asset than Mateta. That was the
Yeah.
primary reason.
Let me see if any of the big FPLers are triple captaining
General, I think,
Haaland.
was messing around with it.
Ooh,
That was a
that's
big one
interesting.
for me. It's not a general move.
Yeah, people in the chat will tell us. Is anybody? I know Fran was considering it. I know Flappy was considering it. Who takes penalties for Fulham?
You
We don't
don't
know
know yet.
yet. But my inkling is it could be Andreas.
I think Andreas, we have seen him take them. Primarily when
Yeah.
Mitrovic was around, or Lukic. We've seen him take
Yeah.
one in
Lukic took
preseason.
them in one game in preseason. So it has to be one of four. Andreas, Lukic, ESR, or Muniz.
Could be Iwobi. It's pure guesswork.
Yeah. Zoff and Laser, how many games are you able to catch live on weekends? Don't you face any resistance from your wives? So what I generally tend to do is plan a night out on Saturday after the 9:30 game. It's easier. It's like a win-win. I get to watch the first two slots on Saturday and then get out. I don't watch the last game unless it's United is playing. And on Sunday I head out for lunch and then chill at home in the night.
I'm single. Don't have
There you
that
go.
problem.
Adam is considering. Leaks are suggesting that Xerxes starts over Mount.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Lot of leak lineups apparently.
I'm guessing it'll all be for the first game.
Let
Nothing
me
after.
check our chats. Hmm. All right, man. Guys, throw us your questions. Okay, Raptor said that Xerxes starts. I think we'll hang for 6 minutes more. Just see out the
Yes. Yeah, we'll
deadline.
see out the deadline.
My throat is gone weirdly, man.
No team news as
Seb
such.
was in
Actually,
my
the chats.
DM. Seb was in my DM saying, "Am I triple captaining?" Seb Carmichael Brown. He's a pro golfer. Not doing it. I like how people want to see like his exact message is UTC. It feels very late rise. Yeah, this is the way for. He's surprised and disappointed, man. So, I am not triple captaining a 160% EO player in a single game week. That's my point, Seb.
The notable leaks, I think that's the primary one we just got in terms of
Garnacho
Xerxes
starts
Garnacho starts.
and Xerxes starts.
Score prediction: United Brighton 2-1 for you.
I'll take anyone. I will take literally anyone. People say, "Oh, we'll take an average performance, etc., a good performance, etc." No, like I think Brighton is one of the toughest away games in the season. A scruffy, undeserved 1-0 win, and I'll take it. But I want 3 points. I think the result today does a lot of confidence building for the more important game next week.
I'm looking forward to watching 90 minutes of Brighton.
Yeah,
The midfielder they're signing from Celtic also is apparently supposed to be really good. I forgot his name.
yeah, I forgot too. Yeah. Mhm.
Robert's asking, would you play Colville to save a free transfer instead of selling Solanke? I think if it's a free, I just get rid of Solanke because we don't know about Game Week 3 as well.
All right. What else do we have?
Truss apparently just tweeted that he's not using his triple captain.
Let me see if I can confirm that.
If Nkunku doesn't do well, would you guys look to move him on to Eze? Potentially, I like
Yes.
to see the positioning. I'm interested to see how Chelsea play as well because even in the first half in the Europa game, we weren't that great, but it's very different personnel we're going to likely play. So yes, definitely on my radar, but I probably don't do it Game Week 3 because Game Week 3, Eze is what, away to Chelsea. I'd like to take an
Yeah.
additional transfer having used one already this week into the international break.
Prass isn't doing it. I'll read out his tweet for everybody. Going to stick with no Haaland TC. 100% think this is the best single game we could do it. Fixture could get better, but Haaland's X minutes won't. But we'll hold out for a random double game week. Change strike whether. Also, small chance the mystery chip can be played alongside a regular chip. So Haaland captaincy it is.
That would be a massive curveball, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But I buy the
Hmm.
other reasons.
I don't like except for goal projections. I don't buy that this is 100% the best single game week fixture in a world where the Fodens of the world haven't had a full preseason. In a world where City's most important player, and in some players' views, the most important player on the planet isn't going to start game week 2. And we don't have enough information about how Ipswich would set up. I don't think this is the best single game week fixture. Like I think that's a little bit over exaggerated,
It's a
in my
bit of an
opinion.
assumption also as well. It's
Yeah,
assuming a
it is.
lot.
It is exactly.
Might be correct, but it is an assumption either way.
Yeah.
I rate McKenna though.
I feel,
I'm just not expecting McKenna to go there and get turned over.
yeah.
I think it would easily be one of the sides like Everton or something that go there and ship 5-6 goals as well.
You just don't know.
Have a quick look at your team if you want to lock in another couple of minutes. I'm all good.
Always is that always a thing for you? 1 minute or 2 minute pre-deadline lock-in always exists for me. I'm just not confident.
It
Like what if
depends
something
usually
went
because
wrong?
I'm usually asleep at this time, so not all the time.
Top three ones from today, Zoff?
Munoz goal, Muniz goal, Nkunku goal.
For me, it's Muniz and Munoz returning, and I'd love to see a Gordon Hall.
The thing is, Nkunku is the one I'm a little bit restless over, and Gordon I'm still happy to hold next week. Nkunku, I feel I'm going to get a bit twitchy next week.
It's all right, man. You still have to sell players.
Yep. Just 1 minute to go.
Good luck, guys, this week. And before we end the deadline stream, another pledge to just make sure you click the like and subscribe button. We've got about 700, 800 people watching and just 325 lakhs. Just do a last minute smash the like button, see if we get to 500. That'd be lovely. That'd be lovely.
But yeah, I think definitely Man City next, Arsenal tomorrow, Chelsea, then Liverpool, Brentford. Decent slate.
Hmm. So how are people still deciding what to do this late and asking questions? What time is it here right now? It's 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon right now. Hey man, this is definitely doable. Like sitting in office for an
Hmm.
hour and doing this, no, it's not a big hindrance on timing. 1 hour is
That's
something
good.
I can definitely.
We do it regularly
And
then. It's going to
yeah,
be a bit different in a couple of months now. It'll be 1 hour later.
yeah, still doable,
Yep.
I reckon.
That's it. We have
Yeah.
a deadline.
All right, pens down, guys. Good luck, and we will see you on Tuesday for the Game Week 3 pod. Good luck, guys. Take care
Good
off.
luck,
Bye bye.
everyone. Bye bye.